What's good, Josh? Getting the heart away, Southern T. About to get this intro played so we can get with it. Y'all know what's going on. Excuse me for being a little late, a little unprepared. As always, y'all know how it go. Got to get the intro played, and we finna get it going, y'all. It's getting hard away, Southern T. You know I'm a little late today, but you know we gonna make it work. We gonna make it do what it do. We gonna make it do what it do. I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Rings ain't gold and they icy, they know they floss. Big rims in their windows and they better be couch. View my friends who bosses, they know they lost. I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Rings ain't gold and they icy, they know they floss. Big rims in their windows and they better be couch. View my friends who bosses, they know they lost. Keep it so real in house. If it's so big in his house, it's a real safe because cause your girl go with his house. Hustle so hard and I'm stopping. If you get a penny, stay to yourself. No more friends in the car. I can see shit in my mouth. I see some sweet piece in your every day. Ignore I hate, put it in his face. I know it's not what you gotta wait. Talking how my best say it to my face. When you ask better, like now you straight. Bitch, you ain't real, stay up in your place. I heard that you're no falsy. I feel like I ain't lost it. You gon' have features on coasters. Don't need your budget, you lost it. I heard that you're no falsy. I feel like I ain't lost it. You want no features on coasters. Don't need your budget, you lost it. You need to stay in my way. Out of my life, better be cautious. I try to stay in my place. Bitch, I ain't waiting, now I ain't stopping. Like I saw Rick with thinking. This is my best and I mean it. Fake ass bitches, sure for me. Stop it, you really don't mean it. I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Rings ain't gold and they icy, they know they floss. Big rims in their windows and they better be couch. View my friends who bosses, they know they lost. I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Rings ain't gold and they icy, they know they floss. Big rims in their windows and they better be couch. Okay, y'all, one more song. What's good, VV? What's good, Go? They gave a nigga Black Panther ass today. Salute to YouTube for knowing who's watching. They gave me a damn Nissan ad. I ain't even got my license yet. Appreciate that, y'all. I'm gonna play one more song. Y'all, I'm gonna be right back, then we gonna get into it, y'all. Appreciate y'all slide through. I had enough of the broke days. Had to go out there and get paid. I had enough of the soul dropping. Now that I'm up, they will never hate. I'm a fool like a criminal. I will not let you my worst day. I had enough of the fake love. Now you can go the other way. I had enough of the broke days. Had to go out there and get paid. I had enough of the soul dropping. Now that I'm up, they will never hate. I'm a fool like a criminal. I will not let you my worst day. I had enough of the fake love. Now you can go the other way. Enough is enough and I'm fed up. I wanna rock and can't talk to you. I can't tell you to keep my head up. Bitch, I ain't pop, don't talk to me. You sad, bumping it right ways. And what they do when they want some. But I ain't got a penny in them heavy pennies. So we're hard to you. I might have some. You pockets so bad with your loose. You get a tight room, it's the last one. People bring us no pants, bitches no present. And you too extra. Man, it's really just saying you call me your friend, but friend I ain't next to. I get some shooters so best up. You tell me this shit gon' be extra. I had enough of the gossip and lies. You hoes and niggas play sides. And I despise no new friends. They like looking dead in your eyes. Remember the ones who was there by my side and never changed, but they no bad. I got you forever and never. And the parts you play is special. I had enough of the broke days. Had to go out there and get paid. I had enough of the soul dropping. Now that I'm up, they will never hate. I'm a fool like a criminal. I was not like on my worst day. I had enough of the fake love. Now you can go the other way. I had enough of the broke days. Had to go out there and get paid. I had enough of the sound dropping. That ain't what they would never hate. I was just like a criminal. I was not like on my worst day. I had enough of the fake love. Now you can go the other way.
Okay, y'all. One more, y'all. What's good, Jelly Bean? Appreciate you sliding through, Jelly Bean. What's good with y'all, good folk? One more. I'm finna get my shit shared, y'all. Now I'm finna get the share. Now I'm finna get the share, man.
Get fly. I don't wanna do is get fly. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Some of these go TikTok. I don't wanna do is get fly. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Some of these go TikTok. I don't wanna do is get fly. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Some of these go TikTok. I don't wanna do is get fly. Smoke good trees and get high.
Okay, Jelly Bean.
Fresh bird case, straight up at the bar. Drinking up some Henny, took another shot. So now we get lit, turn it overnight. Drinking some lemonade just for the chase. So just a little sip, baby, not a lie. Really, I don't even need a little chase. So fuck it, I'ma go take another shot. Pre-game, homegirl gotta say pre-game. Pre-game, right on the same thing. Get drunk, get it out, gang, gang. Pre-game, pre-game. Homegirl gotta say pre-game. Really, right on the same thing. Get drunk, get it out, gang, gang. Wherever we going, we keep so fresh that you overflowing. Yeah, we put ourselves on the way to the top. Can't go there, we going. Keep going, no stress on our haters. Fuck with me if you really ain't about your paper. Stress to the top, you know we can't say one. Don't blame one. Keep fly. All I wanna do is get fly. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Ice on my wrist, go TikTok. All I wanna do is get high. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Ice on my wrist, go TikTok. All I wanna do is get high. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Ice on my wrist, go TikTok. All I wanna do is get high. Smoke good trees and get high. Ride around the city with a big night. Ice on my wrist, go TikTok.
That jump right there, a vibe, y'all. That jump a vibe, man. Get right. All I wanna do is get high, try to get them out of here, nigga trying to get back. All the nigga do shit, get fly. In my life, get a couple drive-by. From my legs to the sky high. Don't wanna stack to the ceiling. No, I'm getting the paper, bring my shit up sky high. You just get back, you don't get away. If you play there, you know you go die today. I'll leave that play with you. Okay, intro one more time while I'm sure y'all. I'm almost done. My last song. I promise y'all this is my last song. Skinny Hardaway, Southern T intro. This the last show. I told you, Ghost. It's a feeling thing, Ghost. I really do this shit though, Ghost. I really do this shit though. He said this in his video one time too.
I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Real chain rolling my ice skate, they know they floss. Big rims in the windows to me, better be cautious. You know with the bosses, they know they lost. I really hang with the bosses, they know they boss. Real chain rolling my ice skate.
We about to get into it, y'all. Believe it, we about to get into it. I still got plenty of assuring and shit to do, but after this song, I'm gonna go and get into it. I'm sure I ain't getting into it.
If it's so real, then cost. If it's so fake, then it's options. If I'm real snakes, be cautious. Cut your girls, go up your options. Hustle so hard, ain't no stopping. And then you're a penny. Stay to yourself. Go to my friends in the garbage.
I got this shit in my pocket. Red nigga, I got you all. I'm about for it, let's go. I had my best head to my face.
When you hit better, you know you straight. Bitch, you ain't stay up in your place.
I had that drip, no frosty. Think I fell off, I ain't lost it.
You wanna bitch, you gon' cost
I need your buddy, you lost it. I had that drip, no frosty. Think I fell off, I ain't lost it. You know the bitch is gon' cost you.
I need your buddy, you lost it. You need to stay in my way, out of my lane, better be cautious. I try to stay in my place, make your way, and I ain't stopping. I was a little bit quick thinking. This is my base and I mean it.
Like ass bitches,
Share from me, stop it, you really don't mean it.
I really hang with the bosses. They know they boss.
Rich and golden, they icy.
They know they floss.
Big rims in the windows in it.
That'll be cops. You my freaking bosses. They know they lost. I really hang with the bosses. They know they boss.
Rich and golden, they icy.
They know they floss.
Big rims in the windows in it.
That'll be cops.
You my freaking bosses. They know they lost.
Getting the harder way, Southern T, and we back with another EP. You know me, I'ma always keep it G. We back here, y'all, and today we're here with an interesting subject. I got something I need to get off my motherfucking chest because guess what? Guess what I need to get off my chest? Now, I've been hearing about this guy. I've been hearing about this guy called Tszyu. I've been hearing a lot about this little fella. I've been hearing a lot about this little fella called Tszyu. People been telling me that this Tszyu fella, people been telling me that this Tszyu fella will be Castano Charlo. They've been telling me that this Tszyu fella will be Erickson Lubin. They've been telling me that this Tszyu fella will be Tony Harrison. And now the thing is that this Tszyu fella will beat Brian Castano. Well, we got some good news about this Tszyu fella being Brian Castano, y'all, because this Tszyu fella is indeed Brian Castano's mandatory. Let the church say amen. So this man is indeed Brian Castano's mandatory. So with that being said, Tszyu made some comments today, which led me to this video right here as I sit in front of you. He can't be his. This video, so the comment made today is what led me to this video right here in front of you. Now, let the church say amen. Amen. Okay, now, Tszyu said that he could beat Castano Charlo and Brian Castano, but I'm going to go and let them fight, and I'm going to take out Tony Harrison. So you, Tszyu, with all this hype around you, you got people telling me, telling you, telling them, telling him, telling Shim that you could beat Jermell and you could beat Castano, that you really the best guy at 154 and all that good shit. And then you become a mandatory after the biggest fight that we've had this year so far, which is Castano Charlo versus Brian Castano for undisputed. Biggest fight we've had so far. You became mandatory after that fight. Everybody telling me, hold on. Jermell and Castano can't run it back because Tszyu is the mandatory for Castano. Castano got some business to handle with Tszyu first. So he can't run it right back with him. And I'm telling y'all, man, don't nobody want to see no motherfucking Tszyu fight Castano Charlo, no Brian Castano, because they should have for undisputed. But what y'all telling me is, no, they can't just run it back because this guy named Tszyu is the mandatory for Brian Castano. So I'm arguing with motherfuckers about Castano Charlo running it right back with Castano. Y'all telling me this Tszyu guy is gonna mess up the whole thing. So some months go by. Some months go by since then, right? Y'all don't hear me. Some months go by since then, right? So boom, months go by, and now Tszyu comes out today. And this is the same Tszyu that they've been telling me is the next big thing, is he's finna beat Charlo and all this good shit. You mean to tell me that this guy is telling us that he could beat Brian Castano and he could beat Castano Charlo and he got the opportunity to fight Brian Castano next, but he don't want to fight Brian Castano next? He would rather fight Tony Harrison than fight Brian Castano? Nah, I'm not gonna let y'all get by like that. I'm not gonna let y'all get away like that. I'm not finna let y'all ease on back like that, because y'all been telling me for months that this man is the real deal. Y'all been telling me for months that this Tszyu guy is going to beat our favorite fighters in Tszyu I'll and Brian Castano. Y'all been telling me that these 254-pounder champions that's in the ring right now are only holding this Tszyu guy's belt. And the first public comment that I heard from Tszyu is, yes, I could beat these guys, but I'm going to let them fight. I could beat both these guys, but I'm going to let them fight, and I'm going to fight Tony Harrison, and I'm going to wait for the winner. That's what I heard. That's what I heard when I read it. When I read it, that's how I heard it in my head. I'm going to let these two guys fight, and I'm just going to wait for the winner, but I could beat both these guys if I want to, even though I'm this guy's mandatory. Even though I'm this guy's mandatory, I'm just going to let them fight, and I'm just going to get the winner, though. I could beat both. Get the fuck out of here, bro. These people been out here capping for you for months, for years, all these, and I know you Castano son. I know you Castano son. That's why they capping for you. I shouldn't have mentioned the Lord's name. I think we rebuke this devil. He nowhere to be found now that Brad is looking. but now you telling your fans telling me that you could beat these guys. But now, Tim, you come telling me that, oh, you could beat them, but you the mandatory, and you finna give up your mandatory position to somebody else. Question. I got a question for the church. Church, if Jerome Boost Ennis was offered a title shot at Errol Spence's title, do you think that Jerome Boost Ennis would say, well, I'm going to let Terrence Crawford fight Earl first, and I'm just going to fight the winner because I could beat both these guys, but I'll just fight the winner? No, he would not, because when you get a mandatory, you go get your fight, because that shit is not guaranteed. Charlo already used his 2 exemptions. He used 2 exemptions. The last exemption was the fight with Brian Castano. So Charlo has to fight a mandatory. So while in the meantime, while Charlo fighting his mandatory, Tszyu is the mandatory for Brian Castano. You got Tszyu fans, and you got Tszyu talking all this noise about who he can beat. He could beat Brian Castano. I could beat Tszyu I'll. You got Tszyu, and you got Brian Castano, and you got Tszyu. You got Tszyu talking like he could beat these guys. So if Tszyu got to handle some business with his mandatories, and you are the mandatory for Brian Castano, why not, Tszyu? You jump in there, you beat Brian Castano, shake the whole fucking party up. And then you got people, oh, well, a money fight. Well, Tony Harrison is a money fight. He can let them be under Brian Castano. Beating Brian Castano and beating Tszyu Charlo is 10 times better than beating Tony Harrison and beating the winner of Castano versus Charlo. If you beat both the guys at 154, what question is people going to have to say to you? These people want to tell you, I had checked over last, we was smoking up. Appreciate that, Art. Appreciate that, Art. I got some on the way tonight. Art, I might not. I'm going to call the fights, Art, but I'm most definitely gonna walk away for a second. I'm gonna take a step away from y'all for a second for sure. But yeah, appreciate that, Art. Appreciate that, Art. But if you got a chance to beat both guys at the top of 154, and you got your fans telling me that you the best guy, you got you telling me that you could beat these 2 people, bro. I don't want to see you tiptoeing around doing no extra shit. If you the mandatory, go ahead and push that mandatory. They made you the mandatory for a reason. You supposed to be that guy, right? Charlo can't fight Brian Castano next. Charlo and Brian Castano can't fight next because Tszyu Charlo has already used 2 exemptions in his last 2 fights. Charlo has to fight his mandatory. Castano gets another fight. His mandatory is Tszyu. So what you mean, Tszyu? You want to see Tony? You want to fight Tony Harrison and let them handle their beef first? Tszyu, you ducking, bro. That's a duck, Tim. And Castano will be highly upset with you. Shout out Has Boxing. Shout out our man. Shout out Has Boxing. And Castano will be highly upset with you, son. Out here putting this schmut on his name like that. Because Castano would have never done no shit like that. And yes, I'm telling you what your daddy would have done. Because guess what? I actually watched your daddy. You didn't watch your daddy because you was a fucking kid. Well, I was a kid too, goddammit. But you get what the fuck I'm saying. He was your daddy. He was my fucking daddy. I watched your daddy. Your daddy wouldn't have turned down no motherfucking title shot. Your daddy wouldn't have turned down no, oh, I could beat these guys. Yeah, VV, this for you, VV. This for you, VV. You and your Tszyu guy, VV. This for you and Tszyu, VV. I'm glad you came, VV. Shout out, VV. This for you, VV. You and Checkmate. Where Checkmate at? I want Checkmate to come too, man. I'm finna tag Checkmate. Let me go find Checkmate real quick. Let me get Check in here. Man, I ain't even sharing my shit on Twitter. Y'all on bullshit. I'm finna tell Check to drop in. We talking to Tim Tszyu. But yeah, let me share my shit on so I ain't sharing my shit on Twitter or Instagram yet. I'm bullshitting, y'all. I'm bullshitting. Vivi just made me think of that. Vivi just made me think of that. I'm bullshit. Costa was offered the Vince Phillips fight, and he went and got his ass knocked out and took his facts though. Yeah, come on. His daddy won the duct. His daddy won the duct. Who was that beat his dad? He was old as fuck. Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton beat the shit out of Costa Tszyu. Ricky Hatton beat the fuck out Costa Tszyu. But guess what Costa Tszyu did? Costa Tszyu got his ass in that ring. Was getting ready to contract. He knew he facts, bro. Facts, Ghost. But you know what? He signed and facts, bro. Facts. Costa Tszyu wouldn't have gave no nigga his Costa Tszyu wouldn't have gave no nigga his mandatory shot before. Nah, dog. You ain't your daddy. People want to believe. People want to say you your daddy. You your daddy's son. You your daddy's son. But you ain't your daddy, my boy. Because your daddy wouldn't have gave up no goddamn. Nah, we ain't even talk like they even exist. No boxer who worked and earned. Hey, look. This is another reason. This is another form, bro. I ain't even gonna go that deep. I ain't even gonna get that deep this early in the live stream. I'm gonna wait till we start cooking before I get too deep. Before I get too deep in it. He not built like his daddy. He's half his daddy. So it makes he said he not built like his daddy. He's half his daddy. So it makes sense why he not like his daddy. What's good, D-Hodge? Shout out my boy D-Hodge coming through this joint. Shout out my boy D-Hodge coming through this joint. Hey, random question for everybody in the room right now. Did y'all see ass when y'all came in? And if you haven't, could y'all like the video? We'd greatly appreciate that if y'all can hit the like button for me. I got 11 likes. I got 12 people in the building. Can I get at least 15 likes? You know, while we kicking it, while we sitting here, 12 y'all in here. I got 11 likes. Appreciate that. Can I get 3 more likes? We can keep it going. But yeah, man. It's just that my only problem is people be telling me, I see where Tim, Vivi said, I see where Tim is coming from. This situation with the WBO saying they'll allow a rematch. They mandating this and that and the other, but Tim needs to fight Brian, not Tony. He is the mandatory. They can't give. I don't think Charlo could get another exemption, Vivi. He done had 2 exemptions, Vivi. Brian Castano was an exemption. The Brian Castano fight was an exemption, Vivi. I don't think he could get another one. And if he can, it's a special rule or some shit like that. But now y'all trying to save Tim. Y'all trying to save Tim. I ain't trying to save Tim. That's the difference. Tim been talking all this shit, man. Tim. Imagine if Gervonta Tank Davis came out and said, imagine if Gervonta Tank Davis was the mandatory to Josh Taylor. And Gervonta Tank Davis came out and said, man, I'll beat Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis. But I want to fight Victor Postol old ass first because that's just what I want to do. But I could beat Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis. But I'm going to fight Victor Postol first. No, man, it don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. Just say you're scared. If you're scared, go to church. That's why I started off in church. Y'all seen how I started in church? Y'all seen how this was a church service at first? That's because I saw a scared individual. You know, when you see a scared man, you go to church. If you're scared, go to church, right? That's why I came in here preaching and giving y'all the word and asked the church to say amen. Because clearly somebody is out here scared. And if he's scared, we need to pray for this man. We need to give this man the strength to make it through and persevere. Give him the confidence to step in there with Brian Castano and his mandatory ASAP. Give him the confidence to steal the show, to become the fight, to become undisputed heavyweight champion. His fans are all believers. His fans are all believers. His fans, everything, they believe in him. They tell me he's better than this guy. He's better than that guy. He could walk through walls. He could jump mountains. But then when he's speaking over his mouth, what does he say? What does he say? He says, oh, yes, I could beat these guys, but I don't want to fight these guys right now. I would rather fight a much easier opponent. I would rather fight the guy that he beat. I would rather fight the guy that looked bad and that possibly lost his last fight before I go up and fight my mandatory. You know what I mean? So when somebody's scared, we always go to church. Church adjourned. Kanye dropped the album. He should put it on loop. Kanye went from broke to a billionaire. It's okay, Tim. Believe you can do it too. What's up, Demetrius Bright? Shout out my guy, Demetrius Bright, sliding through this joint. Tim Tszyu is scared, want to take the easiest of the 2 fights. Fact, easy of the 3 fights. Castano holds WBO belt, and Tim was just named the mandatory. This will be the first exception to the mandated fight, which is used for unification, which is unconditionally allowed by the WBO. Yes, I'm talking about Charlo. Charlo. Why would Castano take an exemption if Charlo can't fight him? Charlo already used 2 exemptions. Charlo used his 2 exemptions. Charlo got to fight somebody else. Charlo got to fight somebody else next. So why would they push their fight off? Because Charlo got to fight somebody else next. They need to go and fight. Tim, y'all think Tim Tszyu this guy? Y'all think Tim Tszyu that guy, right? Tim Tszyu is what you say he is, right? Tim Tszyu is what you say he is, right? Why would Brian Castano fight a regular old guy next? Wait for Charlo to fight his mandatory, then them 2 fight. That means Tim Tszyu gonna be next in 2 more fights. They could go and fight. So if Castano chases Charlo, Tim can't do anything. But if Castano chases Tim, now Tim is the mandatory. Tim already said he gonna let them fight and he want to fight Harrison. Tim already trying to clear the way. What I'm saying is Charlo's next fight gotta be his mandatory. He used 2 exemptions. So Charlo is out the picture for 1 more fight. So that 1 fight that Charlo is out the picture, it could be Tim Tszyu versus Brian Castano mandatory. I'm gonna go and say it. Y'all only want to see, bro. Y'all gotta stop doing that, dog. Now they the mandatory. Let them fight. Don't nobody say nothing about Devin Haney mandatory. The Devin Haney mandatory is not fighting him. You got Tim Tszyu, Brian Castano mandatory. Nobody knows. Nobody. I don't know who he is. I don't know. But he had 2 exemptions. He got a mandatory. He got a mandatory. The last fight was the last fight Charlo mandatory? VV. Was the last fight his mandatory? Was the fight before that his mandatory? Who's been his last 2 fights? Banana, title fight. Castano, title fight. 2 exemptions, VV. Mandatory come next. I don't know it's mandatory, but I know the rules, though. I know how boxing works. I know how you only get 2 of them. You really only get 1, and they'll give you a second one. You only get 2, bro. Banana for the first belt. Castano for the second belt. He got to fight his mandatory. Ain't no 3 chances, bro. Ain't no 3 title fights in a row. He hadn't had one for 2 fights. He hadn't had one for 2 fights. He hadn't had one for 2 fights. When him and Tony Harrison was a voluntary. He hadn't had one since Tony Harrison because him and Tony Harrison got tied up in it. It's been 2 fights, VV. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what's going on, VV. His next fight got to be his mandatory. His next fight got to be his mandatory. Stop trying to protect y'all favorite fighters. If I could put my favorite fighters out there in the smoke, I need y'all to have the same. I need y'all to have the same energy, bro. Stop trying to protect that man. Shout out my brother, Demetrius Bright, my motherfucking nigga. Somebody in my motherfucking door. My motherfucking nigga. That's my other nigga at the door. Hold on, y'all. Shout out my Demetrius. Shout out you, Demetrius. Shout out to you, Demetrius. Demetrius, did you see I ad when you came in? If Charlo doesn't have mandatory, Vivi, you're not listening to me, Vivi. Vivi, you're not listening to me, Vivi. And I don't know whose mandatory is. Nobody knows whose mandatory is. I haven't heard about the mandatory, so it probably doesn't have one. Vivi, I just told you the rules, Vivi. Tony Harrison was a volunteer. That's one fight. That's one volunteer. He fought Tony Harrison, right? Volunteer. He lost to Tony Harrison. They had a rematch clause. He fought the rematch clause. That's considered a volunteer. Tony Harrison twice. Tony Harrison was a volunteer. Tony Harrison was one volunteer. He got caught up in the mix, so he had to finish that. The second one was Banana for undisputed. That was his second exemption from his mandatory. It was Banana. Was Rosario. Tony Harrison was one mandatory. Tony Harrison was one exemption. Banana was the second exemption. Then he used Brian Castano in the belt for unification. That's an exemption. That's an exemption, bro. He don't got no more left, y'all. He don't got no more. Him and Castano can't fight next. He don't got no more. He got to fight. He got to fight his mandatory. He got to fight that Mando, VV. VV. Well, let me put Demetrius Bright back up there. Shout out my guy, Demetrius Bright, man. Appreciate you, Demetrius, dog. Appreciate that, big homie. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Where you at, VV? Shout out Winter Jackson. Appreciate you sliding through this young one. Where you at, VV? Unless they mandated someone to fight Jermell, he is free to fight whoever he wants. VV, you remember after my lighter. VV, you remember after Jermell versus Castano, they was already saying that fight couldn't happen because they got to fight mandatory. I know y'all remember this shit, VV. Hey, look, I like how when we want Jermell Charlo to go right back into a rematch, they can't because they got mandatories and shit. But when Tszyu got to fight one of them, now y'all want them to fight each other again so they won't beat the fuck out Tszyu. Y'all see how y'all be doing. Y'all know them folks go beat the shit out of Tszyu, bro. Just let that man, he talking all this shit. Let him go in there and meet his maker, bro. Because Castano, they ordered a fight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly, bro. I know. And look, Ghost, I didn't even know that, Ghost, but I know the rules, Ghost. I know what I see, Ghost. I know what I watch, Ghost. I didn't even know that he had one, but I know he had to have one. I didn't know his name, Ghost, but I know the rules. I know how to believe my eyes and what they tell me. I don't need nobody to tell me that he got to fight a mandatory if I've been following this shit for 3 years and I've been watching it the whole thing. Motherfuckers be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm cap. Bitch, I've been watching sports all my motherfucking life, ho. I've been watching, I bet you I done watched 10 times more sports than most niggas. If you follow shit, ain't no white man gotta tell me what the fuck I need to know because I know this shit because I've been following this shit. That's why I'm right 85% of the motherfucking time. All right. That's why I'm right 85% of the motherfucking time when this shit go down because I go off my mind, my eyes, my sight, and what I see. And if I need to go do some research, I'm gonna go do that shit, bro. Shout out Demetrius Bright again, man. Shout out Demetrius Bright. Demetrius Bright. And on that, bro, I'm a fire. Cause you just gave me $10. That's $1 grand, my nigga. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Demetrius, giving me high, bro. Shout out Demetrius Bright. Why is T-Poor not fighting Brian when it's clear that Charlo cannot fight anyone but his man? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. You trying to stretch out your mandatory because you got a year for a mandatory. It ain't no reason to. He want to stretch out his mandatory so he don't got to fight Castano, so he don't got to lose to Castano before he get to the title fight for the undisputed. He don't want to blow it. He don't want to risk it. Because if you a nigga like me, I'm finna beat up Brian, and I'm finna beat up Charlo, and I'm finna be the king of the fucking world. Because I'm finna beat up both these niggas that just had a draw. Both the niggas y'all think the best 154, the best division of boxing. Both the niggas y'all think at the top. I'm finna beat both these niggas, fuck up all the plans, and y'all go respect me. That's how I would look at it. And I know, oh, I'm finna let these guys fight. I'm finna let these guys fight, and I'm just gonna sit over here. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. That ain't no motherfucking boxing. Get the fuck out of here. Nice ass, man, nice as hell. Get your nice ass out of here. Your daddy will be a fucking ashamed. Yep. Vivi can't say this nigga like he I always say Shakur, like, get out of the way. Yeah. Like, we can't see the play. Like, we can't see the play, man. VV, we see the play, VV. VV, we see the, oh, shit. Shout out my nigga Jay Gibson sliding through this jump, Brody. Shout out Jay Gibson with the bomb. Bomb squad. Shout out my guy Jay Gibson coming through this jump. Y'all, let me share my shit, y'all, on Twitter. I ain't sharing my shit on Twitter or IG. Goes to I ain't even his dad, and I'm ashamed and deeply, deeply embarrassed. He ain't even the same race as me, and I feel the shame. That's what I'm getting at, bro. Make your fighter go fight, bro. Make your fighter go fight, Ghost. If Earl Spence, bro, Earl Spence said, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all the problem I have with Earl Spence. I'm gonna keep it real because y'all know I keep it real. I had one problem with Earl Spence, and I had a problem with Earl Spence for like 2 or 3 months. And I'm gonna tell you what problem I had with Earl Spence. When Earl Spence said, I don't want to fight Bud right now. I'm finna go get the belts, then fight Bud. I had a problem with that, bro. Just like everybody else, I had a problem with it. But you know when I stopped having a problem with that? When Earl Spence beat Mikey. When Earl Spence beat Porter. Because I'm gonna be mad. I can't say you duck Bud and then you go fight fucking Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter. How the fuck I'm gonna say you duck Bud? Ain't like you went to go fight, you know, Jose Benavidez and motherfucking Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? You went to go fight some real hitters. So I can't be mad at Earl, you know, for going. I can't say you ducked this guy and you went to go fight another fucking hitter. A duck is when you fight a lesser guy than this guy. You know what I mean? So I stopped being when Earl started fighting them folks back to back to back to back. That's when I was like, okay, bro, I ain't even tripping on Earl no more. Cause I know, okay, Earl really go get the belts. Cause that's what he started doing. He started going to get the belts. He started doing what he said. So I got off Earl back. Because he did what he said he was gonna do. He ain't do nothing different. He ain't differentiate from the plan or nothing. He did what he said he was gonna do. What Bud said he was gonna do when we got to 47 was fight Keith Thurman, fight Danny Garcia, fight Manny Pacquiao, fight a lot of people. Bud hasn't fought any of those guys he said he was gonna fight when he got to 147. So Brian has to fight Tim. So Brian needs to stop acting like Charlo fight is happening. And Tim needs to stop acting like Tony Harrison fight is happening. If Earl said no to a fight, I would go to Texas and have a talk with him. If Deontay said no to the rematch, I would go to Tuscaloosa and tell the champ we need this shit because we're not getting them. Facts, bro. Like, you gotta, like, bro, like, I don't, like, you can't, I don't like, bro, I like these fighters because they can fight, not because they look nice, not because they got big houses, not because he got a pretty daughter, not because, you know, I like them because they can fight, bro. The moment they stop fighting good people, I'm going to quit fucking with them. I'm going to stop fucking with them. I'm not attached to these people in no way other than be some good-ass fighters. And if I found out, yeah, check. Yeah, check. Y'all see Checkmate in the building. Shout out Checkmate sliding through this job. You got a wrench, Checkmate? Let me give you a wrench, Checkmate. Cause me and Chick finna argue, y'all, and I don't want y'all shooting checkmate. Cause me and Chick finna argue in this motherfucker, and I don't want y'all to shoot checkmate. Let me watch my own ad. Let me watch my own ad. All right, big checkmate. You a moderator, Chick. Well, let me let my ad finish. You a moderator, Chick. Chick, come on, Chick. Let's get with it, Chick. God damn, Chick. Bro, you can't let Tim Zoo off like this, Chick, mate. Chick, you cannot let Tim Zoo off like this, Chick. And I ain't gonna let you do it. We finna get this shit straightened out right now. We finna get this shit straightened out right now. Nah. Yeah, you know how to go. My nigga Chick just came through. Chick, drop me a link. I would jump on. All right. I'm finna send it to you on Twitter, Chick, mate. Ghost said they gave me a full ad, which is 3 minutes. Watch 30 seconds of that junk Ghost. Watch 30 seconds of that junk Ghost and get up out of there. That's all you need. Just watch 30 seconds of that, get up out of there. Tim Tszyu lose to Charlo, Castano, and Harrison in my pick. Honestly, I think he might beat, if he fight the last Tony Harrison I saw, he might beat Tony Harrison. He might beat Tony Harrison. My problem is, bro, don't be talking shit about Charlo Castano and then not fighting Castano when you can fight Castano. You know what I mean? You can actually fight Castano, bro. So don't be talking shit about him and then not fighting him. You got your fans out here saying you the greatest to ever live and shit like checkmate. Now, checkmate can't say that, y'all. I'm capping on that part, though. Check your inbox. Check your inbox, check. Check your inbox, check. Drop. But yeah, man, we can't get Tim Tszyu no pass, man. He like Triple G, but without power and the skill and the titles. He like Triple G, but hey, look, on some real shit, it's people like Tim Tszyu that make you realize that Triple G is really not a bad fighter. Triple G actually can fight. It's niggas like Tim Tszyu that got to make me step back for a second and really realize that Triple G actually can fight and actually not afraid to fight nobody but Boo Boo and Charlo. He don't got no smoke for Boo Boo and Charlo, though, but dog, Triple G, yeah, Twitter check. Yeah, Twitter check. Triple G, Tim Tszyu. 2 different levels of people. 2 different levels. 2 different levels, bro. He not Triple G. He not Triple G. Triple G would never give up. Triple G, even Triple G, if Triple G was mandated to fight Canelo, you think Triple G will say, well, I'm going to let Caleb Plant and Canelo fight because, you know, they could go ahead and get undisputed. I could beat both of them, but I'll fight the winner. I'm going to let him fight Caleb Plant. Nah, fuck no. Fuck no. Hey, at least Triple G turned up in his later years. In his prime, he was down for whatever it was. Yeah, facts, bro. Facts, though. And them facts, though. Them facts. Facts, though. He ducking Charlo now, VV. He ducking him now. We ain't tripping, bro. We ain't tripping. We really just mad he got the belt and he holding up the belts and shit. That's why we mad. But we know he ain't gonna fight him. He older. If Charlo wants Triple G, Smoke needs to go over on the zone. You shouldn't have to sign with Eddie to get one fight. You shouldn't have to sign with Eddie to fight. I don't know, bro, but we got VV's. We can't be letting them have behind the business of boxing and all that shit. VV like. Yo.
Chick. Yo, what's up?
What's good, man? That you flying through this junk shit.
Yeah. It was an interesting conversation that we had because you and I generally, I think you're a very logical guy. And we agree on a lot of things. You don't have to, you know what I mean? It's not required that you agree on everything to respect the individual. But I will say it like this. From my perspective, I feel like Tszyu laid out the perfect, proper plan. This is my reasons why. Tony Harrison was a champ. Tony Harrison is a bigger name than Castano. I never knew who Castano was until they fought, right? So he got a buzz, but Tony Harrison is an established name in the 154 division. Not only that, well, if he say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and fight Tony Harrison, that opens the door for Castano to go ahead and do the rematch for undisputed. Now, I was saying that if Tszyu fighting Harrison on the undercard of the undisputed, what bigger stage is that? After the fight, guess what he gets to do? If he's victorious, he gets to jump in the ring. That is a setup, my brother. Not only that, he's going to get them PBC checks, but like I said, it sets the stage for the next big thing. Okay. Now, from your perspective, you saying, well, Charlo already had exemptions, this and that. But brother, we're fight fans. We don't. Right. I don't care about as far as the politics is concerned. Just like they do anything and make up anything out their ass. They pulled the franchise. WBC pulled the franchise out their ass. So to say that they're not going to allow the Charlo Castano rematch for undisputed, that hasn't been said yet. Nobody is. Only thing you're hearing and that I'm hearing is what you regurgitated is what like media been saying and stuff like that. I don't give a shit about what they say. As you know me, I am anti groupthink mentality. You know what I mean? I don't care what I understand what they're doing. They get paid, they get a check to skew, to brainwash, to for propaganda. My thing is the biggest fight right now for Charlo is the rematch for Castano. That's it. So however it happens, it happens. Now you were saying that it can happen, and you think Tszyu should fight this. But what if it does happen, my brother?
If it does happen, I'm completely wrong, and then it make perfect sense for him to fight Tony Harrison if it can happen. But my angle is that people been telling me for the longest, bro, this Tszyu guy can beat Charlo. This Tszyu guy can beat Castano. They telling me that these guys are just waiting to be beaten by him. Now you got him talking his shit, and then from what I understand, Charlo has a mandatory. Now, if they allow him to, get out of it, then kudos. We get undisputed. I get what you're saying, Chick. I always understand. I'm always about undisputed and all that good shit. But in this particular case, I want them to shut that Tszyu boy up, Chick. I'm tired of hearing his name, Chick.
Well, see, my perspective is
it is personal, when it comes to Tszyu. I always get what you were saying. I always get what you were saying.
Now I see. Now your tweets make sense. It's a personal thing because you would not let that go. I'm like, yo. I mean, listen, that's great, whatever. But to set the stage. No, but listen. The thing, my problem with Tszyu is, you hear about him, but you don't really know him. We haven't seen him on the big stage. So if he fought Castano, it would be like, okay, it's still like to me, he's still in that prospect situation. Like he maybe not be a prospect, but the thing is, I don't know him. I may have seen one fight of his that I can't even remember. I'm sure I've seen one fight of his, but my point is he is not an established star. He is a name. He is a talent. Right? Obviously, he's the son of Tszyu. But my point is, if he were to fight Harrison and KO Harrison on the undercard of the undisputed, doesn't that make the bigger fight him fighting Charlo? I believe Charlo is going to win the rematch with Castano if he stay off them damn ropes. But my point is, wouldn't that be the better stage? Tszyu come and step in the ring. What you going to do? That's like some WWE shit.
Fact. If we building that fight, if if that fight can happen, and if we build it, you know, Tszyu versus the winner, then hell yeah, I get what you're saying. But I don't think that they really shouldn't though, because all right, look, check. Tony Harrison, one was a volunteer, right? But he lost. So they let him go back in the second fight, right? And then he fought Banana. So there's two. There's two you know, non-mandatory fights. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought Castano for another title. So Charlo been fighting for titles for 2-3 years. So he has stretched out his mandatory. So he gotta eventually fight one of them mandatory. His last 3 fights been title fights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and I get that, and I understand that, but unless you know something I have not heard any of these belt orgs say that Charlo can't fight Castano for a rematch for Undisputed. Undisputed trumps everything in boxing. Everything. When you get to crown a king of a division, that's worth more than its weight in gold. They tried to build Loma. Nobody was buying Loma as a superstar. Loma was barely doing 2,000 people would show up to see him fight. He wasn't doing big enough. He's never been a superstar because they tried to force it. I never talked about his talent. He's a good fighter, but he's never been the best, and he's not the superstar. You know what I mean? Look at Teofimo. Teofimo, all of a sudden, because he beat Loma, who I made thousands of dollars on bet that Teo would beat Loma, because I knew Loma's limitations. I said there's no way he can handle Teo's strength. I just did not see it. You know what I mean? So my point is, if I figured Teo would beat him, not because Teo is a superior boxer, but I just figured his strength would wear him down. So my thing is, now all of a sudden Teo, because he won that one fight, he's gotten too big for his britches. Now he think he a superstar. No, he's not a superstar. That's why he couldn't sell his Triller fight. You know what I mean? So when it comes to building stars, when it comes to they need that platform. And not a bigger platform that I can think of is Tszyu versus Tony Harrison on an undercard of Charlo Castano 2. Now, like I said, I understand, what you're saying, but what you're saying is what we've all heard. We have not heard anybody come out and say that this is not possible to happen. We have not heard these belt orgs say, no, Charlo can't fight him. And I also mentioned that once the mandatory is called, you got a year to fulfill that obligation. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why Tszyu said, hey, okay, I'm the mandatory. He's guaranteed should he beat Harrison. I think he could beat Harrison because, Harrison's chin is suspect.
I think he'll beat him. I think he'll beat him too. But my thing is, Charlo mandatory was already order types. He didn't have 3 title fights. And the other thing was, Charlo's side is different from Tszyu. Tszyu, they could fight right now if they wanted to. Castano, with the way Tszyu is talking, check. He is mandatory. They could fight next. They could fight next. That could be the next fight we get, bro. Tszyu versus Castano. And Charlo got a mandatory. I don't know his name or shit like that, but he got a mandatory.
Look what you just said. Charlo got a mandatory, but I don't know his name. Now, the belt orgs themselves, it's some shady business going behind, because you got to understand, Undisputed is not some regular shit, right? So therefore, if this belt org see a Undisputed, why the hell would they make some person that nobody even knows or know of? Okay, we're going to make him fight Charlo. That's the dumbest shit in the world when you got Undisputed. Listen, man make laws, man amend laws. Okay, it's just so that's the way I see it. If I'm the belt org, I'm drawing up attention for my belt for a fighter who represents my organization for Undisputed. That just makes too much sense. No, I don't want you to fight Undisputed. I want you to go ahead and fight this. That is the reason why, again, with Tszyu, they said he's the mandatory, but he got a year to fulfill that. Now you saying what Charlo did and what Charlo, all the fights he had, but guess what? Charlo only fought one Undisputed. It was a draw. This is a rematch. Again, nothing is etched in stone. These are some crooked organizations.
he used the exemption to fight Banana, to fight Rosario for the 3 belts. That was an exemption too.
Oh, okay, but we're talking about undisputed. This is not. This doesn't come around. This is the first thing you realize. There's never been an undisputed 154.
I know that.
So therefore, this is historic. So therefore, why would a belt org say, "Oh, you know what? We're not going to do this"? It's all these. Listen, they let Canelo do whatever the hell he want to do.
Canelo, nor do he get the treatment Canelo get.
Okay, this is my point. My point is not that he does. I'm pointing that out. The fact they let him do anything he wants to do, right?
He
So
got to follow the rules.
But Canelo don't follow no rules. Canelo even made his own weight class, 155. Okay, right. So you can say follow the rules. The rules is like this. There's no rules when it comes to undisputed. This is a chance of a lifetime. Okay, that has never happened before. So it's not even up for a debate. To me, it's like what fight is more important, Charlo versus the mandatory or Charlo rematch for undisputed?
Check. You coming from? I know you coming from the standpoint.
I'm coming from logic.
We always come from. But in this particular case, check. I'm using what they normally do against them to try to get this Tszyu nigga whooped, bro. We stop getting him off the hook, check. Stop preaching that on Southern T, check. That's not what we're doing. Check. We getting this boy beat up because I'm sick of people like, I ain't gonna say you a Tszyu fan, but I'm sick of people telling me Tszyu can beat up Charlo and Brian Castano.
Okay, but check this out. Would we rather see Tszyu beat up? Wouldn't we rather see that on a bigger stage? Build it, build it, and they will come.
Beat the shit out Tszyu. Brian Castano beat the shit out Tszyu. Undisputed bigger.
Not really. You know why? Because how many?
We'll watch Brian Castano versus Tszyu now because we know who Castano is, and Tszyu got Australia, and he cost us up.
But who's the bigger name, Tony Harrison or Castano?
Bigger name, Tony. Yes. But historically, check, it's Tony. But right now, at this very moment, it might be Castano, bro.
Okay, listen. Errol Spence chose to fight Manny Pacquiao, even though Ugas was the champion because of the name, right?
I think he thought Manny was because of the money. But I think
obviously the name brings the money.
I think he thought Manny was going to
brings the money.
I think he thought Manny was going to be reinstated.
Yeah, that's true, but he still had the opportunity to do that, but he didn't do it because when he was fighting, even after belt was taken, when Ugas was elevated, when Ugas was elevated to the super champion, Earl says, "I'm fighting Ugas." The moment Manny stepped in the picture, he said, "Okay, we're gonna put you on hold, buddy. I'm gonna fight Manny." You know what I mean? Because of the name, because of the money that comes with the name, because of the recognition that comes with the name. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is this: I would love to see Tszyu against Charlo, but I'd rather have the undisputed settled and then let Tszyu fight the winner. That's it. So what I was explaining to you as well is about looking at the bigger picture. Okay, so he's setting the stage, and so it's not about immediate gratification of fighting. It's not about the immediate gratification of fighting Castano for his belt. It's about getting on that bigger stage. You know what I mean? It's playing chess. Sometimes you got to take a step back or a lateral in order to make 2 steps forward, and that's what Tszyu just did. To me, that was the biggest plan that any of these fighters in any weight division has ever laid out, and it makes sense. He's saying he got the balls to do it. I want him to see him do it. So he's not just jumping, for a bum. He's not jumping for nobody he ain't ranked. He's jumping to the former champion who was just champ before Charlo fought.
He don't got to jump to the former. He can go straight to the big dog. He just said he could beat in the sentence before. In the 3 words before he said that, he can go straight to the big dog he said he could beat. He could go straight to him. Hey, I bet you Jerome Booth Ennis won't get a shot at Errol Spence and say, I'd rather fight Danny Garcia first. I bet you Booth would never say that.
You know the difference between Boots and Tim Tszyu?
What?
We in America know who Boots is. We really don't. We hear about Tim Tszyu, but we don't know who Tim Tszyu is.
On some real shit, we figured we know who Boots is, chick. Us, everybody in here.
That's what I said. We know who he is.
But look though, the average person don't.
And then guess what? The average person don't know Tim Tszyu. We just hear the name.
Thanks.
And we hear and we mostly know who he is because of his dad. Okay, so that's the nepotism thing. Okay, just like Ali's grandson, he might be a bum, but they riding the fact that he's Ali's grandson, so he's gonna get a look. So Tim Tszyu's getting that look. All I'm saying is Tim Tszyu laid out the perfect plan. If Tim Tszyu won the belt from Castano, that doesn't mean all of a sudden his pay grade is gonna like quadruple, fourfold or whatever the case may be, because
Go ahead.
Because it's all depends on the recognition, you know what I mean? Supply and demand, you know what I mean? So if people are going to demand it, then they're going to supply it. There's no bigger stage than him knocking out Tony Harrison on an undercard of undisputed rematch. That's no bigger stage. If he fought Castano right now, that's not really a big fight. I'm like, okay, I don't get juices from that. You know what I mean? My blood don't flow from that. I will watch it.
Hey, let's say he knocked out Castano, right? Let's just say for this conversation purpose, Tim Tszyu knocked out Castano. If he knocked out Castano and then he say in his hometown in Australia in front of his crowd, you know all that good shit. I want Jermell. I just beat the guy you draw with. I want you, bro. That's bigger stage than anything. That's as big a stage as him knocking out Tony Harrison. He knocked out Castano, the dude Jermell just draw with, and look directly in the camera and tell Jermell, nigga, you next.
Okay. The problem with that is Jermell need to get his get back. The problem with that, people still gonna be talking shit. Jermell beating Castano in the rematch will elevate him not only with the win, but he'll be undisputed, my brother. It's, you know what I mean? So why should we why should we wish to rob Charlo of the opportunity to get back from a draw and get undisputed? It just doesn't make sense to me. Again, as I mentioned to you when we were chatting, I'm not discussing the politics of it. I'm saying what is the best for boxing right now. And that will be the Castano Charlo too. Remember when Castano was fighting Charlo, nobody knew who Castano was.
Not too many people.
No, I didn't. I'd be honest with you. I did. I've never watched any Castano fight.
I actually caught the one him versus Teixeira. I put it on my Southern T. It's up there right now. I did a breakdown on that fight. That's the only fight I seen the Castano. I picked Teixeira to win though, Chet. I picked him to win. I picked Castano to lose. And then I was like, okay, Castano, pretty decent. And then what he did against Jermell, I did not expect at all, bro. So at this point, I know Castano gonna beat the shit out of Tim Tszyu. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I done doubted him twice already, and he didn't prove me. So I'm mad on Castano is he legit to me, chick. He number 2, might be number 1. You get what I'm saying? That's where he is to me.
I get you, and I agree with you, right? But my point is, Charlo got to get that get back, man. We can't just let that marinate and just sit. They need that energy, that raw energy to go back to back. They can't, we're going to wait. No, we need that get back because there's a lot of people who are doubting Charlo right now because that wasn't his best performance. Now, the funny thing is it wasn't Charlo's best performance. And I still feel like, once and Castano only time he was really getting Charlo is when Charlo laid on the ropes. So and that was at the end of every round. At the end of the round is when Castano, with Charlo, would, for whatever reason, lay on the ropes. But when he controlled 90% of the fight in the ring, he was winning. My point is, it still wasn't his best performance. And we need to see that. And listen, my theory why it wasn't his best performance is because the stage, the big lights, and I think his energy was drained because he was doing so much. You know what I mean? He was a star of the show, and it was so much that was going on that, obviously we know something that went on that his brother got, you know what I mean? Got in that situation, with the credit card. There's a lot of things that was going on where he just was not all the way there. He was drained. He was, mentally drained. He just, again, he looked, when he was in the ring, he just did not look like himself. He's a high energy guy. You can see the passion.
Hey, can I say
zero
something?
Passion.
Hey, real quick. Can I say something? Yeah, I noticed Tszyu Charlo been popping off a lot lately, just randomly popping off a lot lately.
About what?
Just in it, like remember Jermell was finna fight at the press conference. He popped off. He popped off the night, before that, while all this shit happened and shit. You know what I'm saying? He just been real amped lately.
Well,
go ahead though.
I tell you what, man, my views on the Charlos is I think they are going about it the wrong way. I think they watch Floyd become the villain, and these guys, and all of a sudden fighters want to be the villain. These guys are very marketable. They could be on all these magazine covers. The ladies love them. You know what I'm saying? They could be super marketable if they just do that Sugar Ray Leonard smile, you know what I mean, and show up for the fight. Smile. Show your personality. No, we don't need to see that anger. We don't need to save the anger for the press conference and show the anger for the ring.
Jamal normally the calm twin, he's normally the chill twin though. So absolutely. I don't know. I just been saying, I'm like, why did Mike been so mad lately? Like, man,
they need to live boxing. They need to live boxing, man. And right now, I'll say this. I don't agree with a lot of these boxers. I know I know Wilder has a gym at his house. The Charlos have gym at their house. And I don't agree with a fighter rolling out of bed in training camp. I think a gym at the house is great for staying in shape and staying in tune in between fights. But when it comes to training camp, you got to get away from your family. You got to go up into the mountains. You got to be, secluded so you can just focus. These dudes, they don't have that, you know what I mean? They don't have that experience at this level to say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because they still partying, they still getting their drink on. If you're a professional fighter, you should be sleeping and breathing fighting. You know what I mean? And to me, I just think the Charlos, I love the Charlos. I've made plenty of videos about them.
I think when they not, when we don't see them, doing what they do, I think they be in the gym though. Because they look like in shape fighters. You know what I mean? They not. I never seen them where hey, Jermell did do this shit on the scales. Just not too long ago. But I never seen them, really miss weight or shit like that. Jermell didn't miss weight either. So my bad if he didn't miss weight. He just, how that shit go. He missed the first time. Then he had 2 hours. He came back in like 30 minutes. But
yeah, Chris Colbert, he did the same thing. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of, fighters will do that. But if you're dedicated to the sport, that won't happen. Now, like I said, I'm not saying they're not dedicated, but I think they're probably given 70% of what they could get to achieve that greatness. Now, like I said, for me, the Charlos popping off the way they do, I think that they're so talented. They could have the world at their feet if they play the game. They choose not to play the game. They want to play the villain. And so I disagree with that, but I love their fighting spirits. And again, for this one, I think that, for the rematch, Charlo will definitely beat Castano.
I know you want Charlo to get back at Castano, and I understand it. But I'm sick of Tim. I'm sick of hearing Tim Tszyu, bro. I promise. I swear I'm sick of doing that.
And because you sick of hearing Tim Tszyu, like you said, you said it was personal for you, so you don't want to hear nothing else but Tim Tszyu versus Castano. That's all you see. You tunnel vision with Tim Tszyu Castano.
He talking shit, chick, man, bro. Somebody please punch this nigga in the mouth.
I got you. But guess what?
Let him fight Tony. Fuck it. Let him fight Tony, because I don't believe Tony gonna let him fight Tony. I don't think Tony gonna let that boy get him. Let him fight Tony. Fuck it. Let him fight Tony.
Yeah. Either way, if he fight Tony Harrison, come on, that's the next best fight after Charlo and Castano, right? There's nobody else bigger than he could fight because Tony Harrison was just champ. Lubin, again, Tony Harrison was just champ. Tony Harrison, you know, is
he coming out for
okay.
loss.
Okay, well, Lubin been knocked out by Charlo.
That was 6 years ago. He was 19.
I got you, but my point is, when you think about names, when you think of that championship pedigree, that's something Tony Harrison has.
Go say you lying for your favorite fighter, chick.
Huh?
Go say you lying for your favorite fighter.
Checkmate, lying for us. Who was my favorite fighter? Tell him, ask him who was my favorite fighter. Ghost.
He talking about Tszyu.
Oh, I don't even know Tszyu. I just told you guys. I may have seen one of his fights, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not memorable.
In America, for sure. He said, Conway better than Tszyu. Charlo needs to drop them belts. Joe in the chat. What's up, Joe? You back up your suspension?
Yeah.
He's acting like Tony ain't just take a draw.
Okay, but that was a horrible fight for Tony. Tony, listen, that was a horrible fight. Listen,
he lost it.
Tony is like one of the best boxers, the best pure boxers of 154. Tony Harrison got that jab, he got that movement, he got the slickness. The only thing he don't have is that chin. Okay, so what we saw, remember, his dad died. There's so many things that he was going through. He had another death in the family, and he had that long layoff. He was just not ready, period. So Charlo didn't perform up to Charlo standards. Okay, so neither one of them fought to their standards. So guess what? I'm going to give Tony Harrison a pass on that because I can say that's not the Tony Harrison that I'm used to seeing.
Go ahead.
You know? So that was a bad performance by Tony Harrison, but again, like I said, to me, that was not a Jamel Charlo performance versus Castano. He could have had him out of there several times. He didn't show that killer instinct. Jamel Charlo is a finisher. When he smelled blood, he finishes. I did not see that killer instinct in that ring. So therefore, I put him and Harrison in the same category, same boat. They both underperformed up to their capabilities. Because Castano didn't do anything spectacular. He didn't do anything that I said, oh, this is greatness. But you know what he did? He kept the pressure on. You know, and when he, you know, and he stole rounds at the end of the rounds when he would go ahead and, you know what I mean, and get him on the ropes and get those combinations. And he hurt Charlo a couple of times. You know what I mean? But Charlo hurt him more. So I need to see that, just like you need to see Tszyu get dealt with by Castano. I need to see that Charlo Castano for undisputed. It's bigger.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
The biggest thing it's the biggest fight this year so far. It's big, but I don't think it's gonna be able to happen next because Charlo got a mandatory. I'm telling you, like he had 3 title fights. He had 3
again. We're talking of politics. You know what I mean? Those politics are shady. They're grimy. You know what I mean? You know, everything about them is shiesty. So, me personally, again, when it comes to logic, if it's on an up and up, those belt holders can say, you know what? Let's go ahead and allow them to go ahead and get this rematch on and then get it out of the way. It's as simple as that. Why would they deny the boxing public something that we want? It's about the best fighting the best, right?
When it first happened, I said rematch. They started telling me Charlo got a mandatory. This.
They started telling you.
Now look, check. It's real though.
Twitter started telling you.
It's a real thing though. Like he really do, and it makes sense. Look at, he had 3 title fights.
But again, he never had an undisputed before though. This is different. There are levels.
If check, you right, it can happen, check. But the other belts guys be like, okay, bro, we gonna give you another exemption.
But man, you're looking at Undisputed like it's just a regular old rematch or a regular old fight. This is again, this is Undisputed 154. It has never ever happened before. Guess what? If they force them to fight other people, then guess what? Then we gotta delay that again. So it's the dumbest thing in the world because either one of them could lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Check. How many times have we been here in this spot and box? Think about it. Just think about what we debating about right now. How many times have we been in this spot in boxing where we want to get this fight, but he got to fight this guy? Then the fact that fight will happen, he lose. That shit happen all the time, check.
Okay, guess what? But guess what? Tszyu is not the one that's standing in the way. Tszyu is the mandatory for Castano. Tszyu, Castano has 1 year to exercise that mandatory. Tszyu already said, okay, I'm not standing in the way. You know why? Because again, he's looking at the bigger picture. He's setting the stage. He can either fight for one belt or fight a big name on the card, on the undercard of Undisputed, and then fight for Undisputed. That is much bigger because now you know who Tszyu is after he beat Tony Harrison on the undercard. The world would know who he is. He will have arrived. He hasn't arrived for me yet. You know what I mean? He's got skills, but he's not a star. You know, you might as well put Tszyu and Conor Benn, Conor Benn, and Boots in the same category. These guys got talent, but guess what? The media ignore them. The media ignore them
in that category.
What'd you say?
I do put Boots and Conor Benn in there. That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying by the namesake. Yeah, they are all in the same little era, the same category, the same little shit. But what I'm saying is, Tszyu already the mandatory, bro. He talking this shit. And he actually got the opportunity. Check. Okay, boom, check. If Conor Benn, because first of all, Conor Benn been asking for a title fight, Eddie won't give him one. If Conor Benn and Boots had the mandatory spot, they would not be trying to get around that motherfucking shit. They would not be saying, well, I'm gonna fight that guy, or I'm gonna fight that guy. You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn asked to fight Sean Porter. Boots asked to fight Bud and Earl Spence and Danny Garcia. Say he'll wipe Danny.
I get you, but if I'm Tszyu, I'm telling you, brother, I'm a very logical person. You're a very logical person. I want you to set aside your personal feelings because you got this vendetta for the Zoo situation. But listen, if I'm a new fighter and I'm coming on the scene and I got the choice, I'm going to take this. I'm going to get this PBC check on this PBC stage while the world is watching. Because guess what? The world may not be watching him and Castano. Oh, well, let me check. Oh, it's coming on. Or let me see. But there's certain fights the world stop for. There's certain fights that are being movie theaters. There are certain fights that you're going to have fight parties for. Castano versus Tszyu is not one of them. Yeah, but guess what? Castano versus
on the other card. You said I don't want, bro. I want him to have to fight both these folks. That's really what I want.
Hold on. Let me address Mark Casey real quick. Mark Casey, I'm not saying that they mess with Boots. Boots is more talented that would beat all of them. That's not my point. The point is, as far as their status, as far as coming out of that prospect stage where people getting to know them. You know what I mean? They haven't reached that level of notoriety and stardom where you can say, okay, this is a superstar or this is the person that is going to bring those numbers in. This is what I was referring to, Mark Casey. I'm sorry. Now go ahead. You can finish your statement. I'm sorry.
I forgot what the fuck I was saying. It had to be talking about. What the fuck we talking about? We were talking about. Oh yeah. Now, Chick, I get what you're saying, Chick. You want Undisputed. I want Undisputed too. I do want Undisputed, but the dude got a mandatory, bro. Like I don't. If Undisputed can happen, for sure, make it happen, and then you can stick Tszyu and Harrison up under that joint. You can stick them up under that joint, I guess. If they can't, if Undisputed is possible, for sure, that's the number one option. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's possible.
We agree.
By rule, I don't think it's possible. But I know what you're saying is undisputed. They don't give a fuck about the rules. They don't give a fuck about the rules in general anyway. You know what I mean? So I know what you're saying too. But it's not. I'm just using that shit against them this time and trying to get Tszyu beat up.
You're using it because you have this vendetta that you want to see Tszyu get smashed by Castano. I got it. I get you, brother.
Because he said he could beat both of them. And his fans say he could beat both of them. And I want to see him beat both of them.
Well, he'll get his chance, but Charlo need to get his get back. When Charlo getting his get back will solidify him in greatness category, in the sense that if he show up and give an A-class performance and put Castano away, become undisputed, he's Hall of Fame. You understand what I'm saying? He's Hall of Fame instantly.
If he beat Castano, get his belt. He beat Jermaine Charlo, get his belt. Bro, Castano and them the two best guys in the division. That's he pound for pound, top 5. He beat Castano and Jermaine.
I got you, brother, and I hear what you're saying. I want him to fight them. My point is this: if I am Tszyu, if I'm a new fighter, okay, if my name,
I'm trying to make him be great. I want my fights and shit. I want my fights to be great. I want Earl Spence to fight every fucking body. You know what I'm saying? I want him to fight Buzz.
Right, but we got
Tszyu
undisputed right there. It's right there. He tasted it once. He can do it again. My point is this. My point is this. If I'm a new fighter, my name is Checkmate Boxing, and I'm a new fighter. I'm on the scene, and you heard about me, but you really haven't seen me on that big stage. Okay, so when you see me on that big stage on an undercard, I'm the co-main. Okay, we're talking about co-main of an undisputed fight. Then guess what? Now the world knows who I am. So now the world is going to be salivating for for that next fight, because after I'm the co-main and I can do that, and guess what? After that, whoever is crowned undisputed, and I climb in that ring, you know what I mean? I'm coming to you straight up. I want you next. Woo, that's gonna be fire. So I would take that path. I would take that. That builds my stock better than just fighting Castano for the belt, because now I still would have to wait for two fights for undisputed, right? So I'd rather fight a former champion and then fight for the undisputed.
If Charlo fight his mandatory, Tszyu gonna fight Castano, undisputed will be next year. One fight. That's one fight away for both of them. One fight for Charlo, his mandatory. Tszyu versus Castano. Let them folks fight out like that. I was trying to make us fight it out. They trying to make Boo Boo and Jamal fight it out, right? Let them folks fight it out. He the mandatory. Let them fight it out. Let Jamel chill, get himself together, because he the champ. He got the most belts. And then they running back. He got his mandatory. He had 3 champions. Can Jamel? I want Jamel to get a break. Damn, I want him to get a.
You want him to get a break?
I want him to get a light fight. Can he get a light fight, bro? Look at dude's resume.
Okay, now the sound comes out.
I'm going there, chick.
Look at you said you want him. Okay, you said you want him to get a light. Now it's coming out. Now it's coming out. Now you want him to get a light fight. You want to give him a little tune up. You want to sharpen his skills. Look at you.
I want
look at now the truth come out.
I want Tszyu to do what he say. I want
no. You said it. You said it, brother. You said you want Charlo to get a light touch. Now, listen, I see what you're saying, but
I want Charlo to fight his mandatory.
I want that undisputed.
I want Tszyu to get beat up, and I want Castano to beat up, and then to come back.
And check this out. After Charlo wins undisputed, I only want him to do one. I want him to do defend it one time, and then just drop some belts and just keep that belt, and then win them again. Okay. So if I went undisputed, I would defend it one time, and I would drop 2 of the belts instantly. Let other people fight, and then guess what? If I feel like I'm the greatest, I'm gonna fight you again. Now, does that make that sets it up for bigger fights for me? That makes the stage even bigger.
Tim is a millionaire fighting boss. Man, we don't care what Tim is, Joe. My nigga said, shut the fuck up, Joe. Hit the fast, Joe. Raw Sportsman League, my guy, what's good, brody? Appreciate you sliding through this, Jim, brody. We're here arguing about Tim Tszyu. I'm trying to get Tim Tszyu beat up and checkmate, trying to save him and shit. You know,
I am not trying to save Tim Tszyu. I think Tony. No, you trying to save Charlo. You want him to get a light touch.
He got a mandatory. I'm using, bro. The rules say that he got to fight his mandatory, and the rules say mandated that. And the rules say mandated that Tim Tszyu got to fight Brian Castano. I'm just going by what the rules that they made. Check.
I feel you, brother, but you saying the rule undisputed is the number one option for me. It's right there. It's a rematch. It's historic. I felt like they didn't want Charlo to become undisputed anyway. So I was expecting some shady stuff to happen. But no shady stuff happened. No. Charlo just didn't perform to his capabilities.
Sources, Rob. Their sources, Rob.
His sources what?
Rob said, I heard Charlo having a hard time making 154.
I never heard that. Charlo always come in tip-top shape.
Except the last time. Check.
No, that wasn't Jamel Charlo. That was Jamal Charlo. That
that was Jamel. That was Castano Charlo. That fight he came in a little, he was like 0.5 over, something like that. Mm. That was Jamel against Castano.
Okay. Well, my thing is again, he wasn't, and I felt like he wasn't dedicated. Huh?
That was the only time that he did that before, though.
Okay, that tells a lot. That shows a lot. That says he was not focused. Okay. Now, again, to me, I think he was getting it was too much. It was a whirlwind. You know what I mean? He has never been on that stage before like that before. This was something completely different in form where he was the star of the biggest historic fight. So imagine him hearing that every day. Man, this is huge. This is a story. You're making history. I'm sure that brother didn't sleep for like 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Listen, brother, I think nerves got to him. I think, again, I just don't think he was just as focused as he could have been. And I think the rematch will show a different. It would be as different, just like the first Harrison fight versus the second Harrison fight. That's the type of difference we will see. Listen, if Charlo and Castano don't fight for undisputed, now there won't be an undisputed there again. I can't read. What's that? Of loads of because of the loads of mandatory. Absolutely, that they need to get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. I don't want people. You know, it's not even the fighters this time. So a lot of times it's the fighters that, whatever reason, there's a lot of times it's the promoters. Now it's not the fighters and it's not the promoters. So why the belt war is going to step in the way of undisputed? I think the fans should just inundate, destroy the belt orgs who stopped this undisputed rematch.
Yeah, rematch, dropping Castano. Hey, y'all understand what I'm arguing today go against everything that I ever preached on Southern T ever, because I'm all about the belts and unification and all that.
Because it's personal for you. I get it.
I'm sitting here, bro. I know he not. I heard Tim Tszyu. I went to watch some fights, bro. No, that's not it. That's not it. I heard
Conor Ben. Want to see him get beat.
I want to. He's saying he could beat these folks though. Check it ain't me making him. It ain't me just picking out a random prospect being like, okay, boom, I want him to fight. Now Tim Tszyu made himself known. He said he got a big enough platform to where we at least hearing him now. You know what I'm saying? So he made himself known. He said I could beat Castano and I could beat Jamel. These the two best fighters at 54. They just had a draw for undisputed, and you got this guy saying that he could beat these guys, but Twist, he could actually fight one of them. He actually can fight one of them. One of the dudes he's saying he could beat, he could actually fight this guy.
But guess what? He said it again. It's not about instant gratification. It's about setting the stage for the bigger picture. You know what I mean? You know, just like, you know, like in corporate America, sometimes when you take a new position within the company, you know, you take a lateral. Sometimes you take a step back because it all depends on who your reporting, you know, manager is. You know what I mean? It's all about the opportunity. And what he see is, I can make a show. I can make a splash. I can knock out light chin Tony Harrison, and the world will know my name. Okay, which means me fighting for undisputed, that winner, the world's going to demand that I fight this guy. The world's going to be calling for me. It's going to be salivating for it. That's the difference between a good fight and a super fight, where people will be willing to shell out the money and people demand. Nobody's demanding Tszyu fighting anybody right now. He set the stage, and he knows PBC is paying the biggest checks, and he called out his PBC hit list, and I agree with him. I think it's a perfect hit list. You know why? Because it's going to put him on that stage. And once he get up there and get knocked out, oh well. But at least he set the stage. Let's say, listen, check this out. Let's say he go ahead and fight Castano and he lose, right? He lose. Then he didn't lose. It wasn't the biggest stage. The biggest stage for him would be fighting on that undercard of undisputed Castano Charlo rematch, and a knockout on the biggest stage. His stock automatically rises. So knocking out Tony Harrison will be a bigger win than Castano has ever had.
Yeah.
Okay. So by doing that, his stock has rose, right? Because think about this. They use all these. Think about how many times they used Linares' name like a cheap whore. Linares is a C-level fighter who lost 6 times, and 5 of his 6 losses were knockouts.
A C?
He got knocked, huh?
A C?
Absolutely. You can listen. How if you lose 5, if you lose 6 times and get 5 out of your 6 losses by knockout, you're not a big fighter.
Don't it?
Okay.
42?
Okay. What was his biggest win? What was the biggest win? But what was? Did he ever beat a B-level fighter?
I'm not gonna cap like I'm a big Linares fan though, but I'm telling you, dude fought some people. Cause I did a study on him too. I gotta see. Okay. I have to go back and check. I can't remember off the top of my head though, but he not a scrub though. He not. A scrub. I never said he's a scrub. I say he's okay. I'll call him a C+. Call him a C+, but he is not a B. We call him a C+. Okay, but the thing is, they rehash these names over and over and over again based on who they fought last. Like for instance, Loma fighting Nakatani was some bullshit. The reason why is because the only reason why he fought Nakatani is because Tszyu fought him. What's good, my brother? Shout out Votes UK coming through. Votes UK is one of my first subscribers ever to come through this. Why he ain't got no ranks? Let me get him, man. He was one of the first people to ever come through this.
Well, actually, Devin boxed a masterful fight against him. You know, he showed quickness, he showed aloofness, you know what I mean? He showed great reflexes, you know what I mean? Devin did a great job. The funny thing is, they said Devin was exposed, but other fighters get knocked down and get hurt, but they don't call them exposed. They got other words for that. You know what I mean? Linares actually put Loma on his ass. Did you hear anybody ever say Loma got exposed?
Nope. He lost his second fight.
Absolutely. But the thing about it is, Devin got hit at the end of the round, one punch, and he got stunned. Okay. The same thing happened with Floyd and Maidana. You know what I mean? He got stunned at the end of the round with the same exact thing. Did anybody say Floyd was exposed? So the only people who are saying Devin is exposed, the people who, for that non-black fighter list, That was the NBF list. You know what I mean? They do not want Devin to get his shine. The WBC has been horrible in watering down Devin's as a champion. They don't champion him. They champion Teofimo. And that's the craziest thing in the world. Because this is the thing is, Loma fought Luke Campbell for a vacant fight, for a vacant belt, and Loma never even defended that belt. Okay? So no, Luke Campbell's never been a champion. You talking about a prominent C fighter. This dude he barely making C. He's never won anything. You know what I mean? And Loma fought him. And
love in the chat, chick.
What'd you say?
Linares getting some love in the chat.
Oh, well, listen, Linares. I never said Linares was a bum. He's a C plus fighter. He's not a bum. But when you lose 6 times and you got 5 of those losses by knockout, don't come with greatness.
If you fight 50, check. If you had 50 fights in your life, check, and you won 44 of them, just check, you a bad motherfucker, bro.
Linares was knocked out in 2 of his last 4 fights.
True. Facts. We ain't say he had a chin. We said he could fight. We said he a good fighter.
But this is like, listen, let's just talk about like Roy Jones at the end of his career. Roy Jones is the greatest. Roy Jones is the king, pound for pound king of kings, the greatest technician, but the greatest just athlete to ever step in a boxing ring to me, in my eyes, that I've seen and witnessed with my eyes. Roy Jones in his prime. Roy Jones at the end of his career was like a C minus, a C minus fighter. You know what I'm saying? So you don't. Mike Tyson. Do we remember Danny McBride? Do we remember these guys who beat Mike Tyson is great? No, they fought these guys at the tail end of their careers. So at the tail end of your career, you're not ranked where you were when you were on top of your game. So we got to say that Linares never made it over a certain hump. Why? Because he never defeated a great fighter.
That's good, Chick. I saw what you did there, Chick. That was good, Chick. I liked it. I like that, Chick. I like that right there. I saw what you just did.
What'd I do?
Chick. You said C5, and you called him a C minus, right? And
who? No. Linares is a C plus.
Yeah. We talking about right now though. But what you said was right now he is C minus. Like you was like Roy Jones. You took Roy Jones. I like how you cause they threw out Roy Jones and they threw out who was that? The other guy they threw out, Tyson. But you was like at the end of their careers, them getting knocked out. You know, nobody remember them because that was at the end of their career. I like how you. Yeah, Roy Jones. I like how you did that. I like. Well,
Roy Jones is to me the pound for pound king of kings. There's nobody has ever operated the way
down career progressed. Like that was an A plus, but they don't end the A plus.
Right, absolutely. When Roy Jones ended, he was a C minus. He was getting knocked out by cab drivers. Okay, so and my thing is this: Linares has never made it over a hump where he beat a B level fighter. You know, Linares has never beat a household established star. That has never happened. But I say this again. Guess what? Loma has never beat a house. Huh? Loma hasn't either.
At a lower weight.
What? Name it. Name the guy.
I don't know. I'm not big. Like I'm not big.
But that's my point. If you look at Loma is 15-2, 11 KOs, right? He lost to a 12 loss to Salido, who was really a part-time cab driver in real life. That was his real life job. He was a cab driver. Okay, and he lost to a 15-0, 12 KO prospect named Tszyu. Okay, is that greatness?
Right.
Okay. The people say, people like to bring up these names, but you know what? You know the name they don't ever bring up? They don't bring up Pedraza. You know why? Because Tank destroyed Pedraza. So in order to cancel that out, they just don't even mention Pedraza anymore, because then they got to bring up how Tank destroyed him in 7 rounds. So the thing about it is, Loma has never fought a B-level fighter. Now, when he fought Gary Russell Jr., that was Gary Russell Jr. first championship fight. Gary Russell, you might as well put Gary Russell and Boots Ennis at that same category. Like they was calling Boots Ennis at 27-0 a prospect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Loma, he has never fought a great fighter. Linares has never beat a great fighter. You know what I mean? So you got to grade these guys. I think Linares got decent skills. I would never call him a bum. You know what I mean? But if you're a decent guy with decent skills, but you've never beat a great fighter, then how can you consider yourself great?
It's Gary's fault. Loma is getting hot. Yeah, it's Gary's fault. Yeah, I say the same thing. I said, bro, Gary made Loma, bro. He made that man. When he beat Gary, that's all he needed. That's the one he needed, and that's the one he got. And that's what did it for him.
It was a split decision. Gary Russell actually dropped Loma, but they didn't count the drop.
They didn't count that?
No, they didn't count. They said it was no, they didn't count that knockdown. Had they counted that knockdown, we just had a draw. Because to me, when Gary Russell threw twice as many punches, and I did not see Loma doing anything spectacular. I thought Gary Russell, he said because he was dehydrated, that's when he floundered in the later rounds. But to me, Loma did nothing. Like I said, I didn't see Loma beat Gary Russell. But my point is this: when it comes to greatness, we can't just keep giving these people these things of greatness. Tank Davis is probably one of my favorite fighters right now, right? He has great skills. I can't name 3 people who has better skills than Tank right now. I can't name 2 people who has better all-around skills than Tank right now, right? But because he has not fought that great fighter, I can't that's because he's my favorite fighter. I'm gonna make him a number 1 pound for pound. If you know what I mean, I don't even do those pound for pound lists. I'm against those. You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing that propaganda media does, to brainwash people, to make somebody great. Think about this. Ring Magazine has Ryan Garcia rated as number 2 at 135. Come on, brother. People got to understand. You guys are letting Michael Montero, you guys are letting Dougie Fisher choose who you think is great. These races.
I did a Southern T on Michael Montero too. It's on his John too.
Brother, listen. This is the way it is. What people don't understand is, and some people know, but a lot of people are ignorant of this fact. Oscar De La Hoya owns Ring Magazine. Okay,
Thanks.
so Oscar is basically Michael Montero's boss. Okay, thanks. Bob Arum controls Ring Magazine. Okay, Bob Arum uses Ring Magazines as his propaganda arm. The reason why is because he brings in consistent money, and it's a way for them to keep them in business and keep them going. That's the reason why they constantly ranking Bob Arum's fighters at a high rate, so they can elevate again and keep the money going in. It's a business for them. Okay. Yeah. Now this is the reason why they hate Al Heyman. Al Heyman changed up the game. Al Heyman told fighters, you don't need to be given 35% of your purse to a promoter. You could become your own promoter. You know what I mean? Al Heyman, these guys are paying Al Heyman 15%, whatever the case may be, as an advisor. Plus, he's putting them on the biggest platform in boxing, right? So Al Heyman is a threat to the establishment. Al Heyman is a threat and Bob Arum is telling these guys, listen, we got to do whatever. We got to ignore his fighters. We got to talk negative everything about Tank. We got to talk negative about everything PBC because he's threatening our livelihood. And I'm sure Bob Arum had meetings with those guys with one of those tears in his eyes. Listen, he's about to put us out of business. If I'm out of business, you guys are out of business because they're not going to give you the interviews. And so these guys feel like based on their livelihood, they have to do this. And so they're going to be biased at all costs. This is their job to speak negativity about all things PBC and all things Al Heyman and all things Al Heyman fighters. Thanks. So that's what I say. Why would you listen to their pound for pound list? Why would you listen to someone tell you someone is a top pound for pound when they don't have the accolades?
Speaking of Tszyu Charlo, everything you just said, why is Tszyu Charlo not on the pound for pound list?
Tszyu Charlo should be on everybody's pound for pound list. This guy has brand. This guy has fought everybody in his division. This guy, you know what I mean? He's not running from ducking no one. And the funny thing is, check this out. He's the ring champion, but the ring don't rate him pound for pound. Montero talking about, well, he hasn't been established. You know what I mean? Long enough. What? Get the fuck out of here! Stop it.
And first of all, look, that's bro. That first of all, this nigga. I ain't even give him no. Never mind. I ain't even give him no portion of the show. Go ahead. I ain't even. But hey, look though. I'm finna get the fuck up out of here, y'all.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate you sliding through this, John Chick. It was a good show. Appreciate you blessing this, John, bro. I'm finna slide about this, John, though. Tell them, if you want to, where to find, what you, pop your shit, plug your, plug.
I can find me on Twitter. Checkmate Boxing. I'm doing my thing, catching body, snatching souls. But yeah. So hopefully we got, we come to a conclusion. Well, we have come to conclusions. I learned a lot doing this conversation. The reasons why you want it's a personal thing for you with Tim Tszyu, and also you want Charlo's to get a little light touch, to give him a little break. So those are the well, again, what'd you say?
By their rules, it's supposed to happen the way I said it. By their rules. Now, if they change the rules, then they change the rules.
But are we all also in agreement that if Undisputed is made, you would support that?
Most definitely.
Okay, there we go.
When it first happened, I said run it back. And then they started throwing all this shit up in here. And now since we got Tim Tszyu up here, now they want to say, well, they can fight. Nah, we finna let Tim Tszyu get beat the fuck up. And then we gonna get on to the Undisputed match. That's what we finna do. Let that man get his faith. He been talking that shit the whole time. Him and his fans been talking that shit. Now he the mandatory. Now he don't want. Nope, I ain't hearing the dog. You dug, bro. I'm changing the title. No, I'm just bullshit though. Hey, he does. Hey, I don't look. He the mandatory. Is all I gotta say. And who don't want to fight?
Mandatory versus Undisputed. I want that Undisputed. I need that.
Facts for sure though, but in Tim Tszyu case, what he popping off with, he's supposed to be itching to fight Castano. Not talking about I could be both them, but I'm gonna fight this.
He's just trying to build his name. He's trying to build his brand. Fighting Castano is not necessarily going to build his brand. Well, Castano is not Mexican. Castano is not Mexican. He's not Black American. So where is he going to get this? You know what I mean? So so Tim Tszyu looking at, if I fight Tony Harrison, I know the brother's going to be watching me. I know I'm going to get some eyeballs. I know I'm going to get these other people watching me. I'm going to have a whole nation watch me, Australia. So he's looking at the bigger picture, bro. It's about branding and building that brand and getting a knockout of Tony Harrison on your record. Come on, brother. That's going to carry you a long way. That'll make him a hero.
He running, chick. He running,
okay,
chick. That's
all right, my brother.
He getting up out of there, chick. all right, man.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate y'all sliding through this jump up, man. It's getting the harder way, son. T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. This the present. If you haven't, make sure you like the videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure y'all watch the ads for your brother. Watch them just 10 seconds to 30 seconds, whatever you got time for. Greatly appreciate that. None less, none more. Skin the Hardaway son T. That's all I got. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.